Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Christelle Martinette, and I'm here to commemorate Sushant Singh Rajput. He would have had a birthday on Thursday, January 21st. And I thought, well, I have already channeled him and have had conversations with him, both live and pre-recorded beforehand. And there's a very split group of people out there. I liken it to the American political scene, the Republicans and Democrats and and some people are so grateful and others just don't appreciate this type of work. Well, if you don't appreciate this type of work, I'd like to invite you to turn off the video. That's all. Don't watch instead of criticizing. But to all of those other lovely souls who are following me, as you see, I have prepared this little video behind me of scenes from his time on television and two of his movies, and they will be repeated as the session goes forward. So what have I decided to do? Because, it's difficult for me to just click it on and click it off. But he has been around me. And why do I say this? Because he has been showing himself very clearly and communicating with people, clients of mine, with people who have come to me and they've asked me, I'm not talking about one, I'm talking about 5, 6 of them, very recently have said, I had this dream. Was that him? Years ago, he came and I felt something. And on one occasion, yes, I had to say on one occasion, no, it wasn't Sushant's soul, but for the majority there, it was his soul. Now, what does this tell us here on Earth? And why? And this will give us a window into the phenomenon of his spirit, because he is light. All right, we agree on that. He is light. There's so much love. People love him. But there's much more, because I've been doing this work a long time. And what I have seen is that people from certain soul groups of origin incarnate to change people's perspective, their consciousness. And what I'm seeing is Sushant's soul is one of these who has incarnated and passed. And it was the passing that has created such a shift in consciousness. Now, what is interesting to see, like I said before, there's this love-hate, for anyone who deals with Sushant's soul. There is a good percentage of people who just criticize, and how dare you, and how dare you, you all love him, and how could you? And then there are the others who do want a link, do want to be connected. I have to go back and tell you that my background, okay, I'm half American, half Italian, and 2 parents are both Italian. But my dad, before he married my mom, he was taken prisoner of war in India. And he was there for 8 years. He was a prisoner of war in India for 8 years. And I grew up with the stories of what they used to do and all the spirit sessions. And he would say, look, I swear to you, that table moved, and he would, and we were children and I was a child, and I would just let him talk. And all during his life, he would talk about that period, and I had this love-hate relationship as well. How could I ever want to go to a country where my dad suffered so much? He ended up then escaping and then returned to Italy, married my mom, and they immigrated to the United States right after I was born. Now, like I said, I had this, like many of you out there, this love-hate relationships for people who approach this soul. Well, I had the same with the country, with India. until I met my lovely friend, and I have to say hello to her, Shivani. I know maybe you're watching, just hello. And I visited the country very briefly, and I, unfortunately, because of COVID, I wasn't able to go back, but I will. And like many people say, you leave a part of your heart there. And it's not because of the actual place. Of course, it is the place, but it is the people. The people. They're. I mean, I'm telling you, most of you are from that culture, but what we see from the outside is a very peace-loving. I'm generalizing, okay? Peace-loving, no matter what the social conditions are. And it was fascinating for many of the people who traveled to India. You hear this often. It's fascinating. The people are fascinating. It's the spiritual breath that you take when you go to the country. Well, there are so many stories, and I have to say, I just love the food. That's one of the attractions. But that is to give you a window of my introduction to the country through my dad, and my spirituality actually through my dad. And my mom was a second generation psychic, and I'm a third generation psychic then. So that is my background. Now, as I said, the spirit and the soul of Sushant is such that he has then reincarnated. And I'll invite you to go back and listen to my last channeling session where I clarify that. Because the first two I had done live, and it's so difficult to get a clear reading when there's so many people just asking questions. So I pre-recorded it, and I was able to get a lot of answers. And for those, this is a parenthesis I'm opening, for those of you, tell me the names, we want the names. She's just reading, she's doing her research, and I assure you that, I mean, I do research because I'm a professor, but I did not know who Sushant was. He came to me, and that's why, and I thought, okay, I've got to do this. This person is knocking on my door. The soul is knocking on my door. And that's how I started channeling him. Now, it's so strong. As I said, he apparently, very clearly, is one of the souls who return to change, who incarnate to change people's consciousness. And what does that mean? That means that there is a shift in the way we see things. I can give you an example. A person who works on Wall Street, who's a financial expert or a financial consultant, and has, you've seen this often in movies, they fall, they hit their head, they lose their memory, and they change, and all of a sudden he becomes a wonderful dad. Well, that's one idea of shifting consciousness, of being more grounded and more awareness of interpersonal relations, awareness of love, awareness of things around you, and then being able to make your own contribution. Now, because of that, I insist on contacting him. Obviously not to, and everybody's saying, oh, she's making money from, I don't understand what you mean by making money off of this, but nonetheless, it is a very, more so, there was another soul that not very many people saw. The soul of Toni Morrison, who was a novelist, black novelist, very popular, prize winner, very, very, very interesting types of books she wrote. Now, there are some that leave their mark, and he has left his mark on the way I do things. Now, today, I have pulled cards, because many of the questions you will recall in the last session, I asked you for questions, then I copied them, then I put them on my screen, and you were able to read them. And a few said, "Oh, you forgot to answer that question." You know, I'm only human, so of course I'm going to forget things. But this time around, he actually asked me to use a prop, use something to show people what I want them to know. And for those of you who want the names of those who murdered Sushant, he will never tell you the details ever. You can ask so many psychics and so many readers that the precise details are for humans to find out. And it was so odd. I really thought it was odd that in my first video, the name Blat came out and the two Vietnamese hitmen. I was shocked, but I relayed that. So what prop am I using? Many of the questions in my last video concerned what is he doing? What is his soul? Did he reincarnate? Is he a spirit guide? What is he doing? And then questions directly that I couldn't address in a public video, but questions directed to his message for me. What does he want to tell me? Because I know that he's trying to contact me. And what is my fate and my purpose? Now, I have an oracle deck, which is called Sacred Destiny, the Sacred Destiny Oracle. And they're very illuminating, very interesting. And I've chosen to use them today. And so I've pulled 3 cards that signify, that talk to what Sushant wants to convey to us concerning what he's doing, how he feels, and what actually is his soul doing now and throughout all of his lives, the lives of the soul. Well, the first 3 cards that talk about this are, and I'll show you them. I'll have to illuminate it because you won't be able to see that. All right, this card is called Wisdom. Wisdom, and it's the depths of the sea, as you can see. It is the bottom of the sea, and we know that water is emotion. And what the card is trying to tell us is that things are not as they really seem. And these are the answers that were given from him directly to tell you it's not like you picture it here on this side. Look, and he's also giving, this also gives us the message, look below the surface of your own life. For example, you may feel that you aren't making progress in your life on a particular project, or you might be going through a very stormy cycle. But this card, Wisdom, I don't think you'll be able to see that. All right, Wisdom. But this card is letting you know that even though the surface of your life might be stormy or difficult or wobbly, at a deeper level, below the surface, all is very calm. If you've ever gone underwater, there's no sound. You don't hear the sound. Everything is calm and serene, and peace emerges. Things that may seem challenging will later be revealed to have been even beneficial to you. Now, the next card that concerns him and where he's at and what he's trying to tell us is this card of Diligence, diligence, diligence. There's a bird there. Let me explain the card of diligence. Now, diligence, most of you know that what diligence is. Diligence is hard work. Diligence means doing things over and over until you get it right. And what happens with this message is, what is he trying to tell us? Where is he at? Well, there are times in life when you have to step forward and take risks, as he has done in his life. But there are other times when you have to be patient. Step carefully, go slowly, carefully and slowly, and know that the benefits you will gain will come in the future and will be very much worth it. You have to be meticulous, very careful, detailed, attentive, and this is the key word, persistent. Diligence means persistence. At each step of the way, Use the time now to plan for action steps in the future. Put it on paper if you need be, if you have to do that. And by doing that, you will see that your results will be remarkable in the future and in the years ahead. Now, this is not the time for instant gratification, and his life has attested to that. He left the scene, I'm going to call it the scene of Bollywood. He left because there were more important things for him to do and to get done through shifting our consciousness. Clean your house. Your house is a metaphorical idea. Clean your house. Clear the chatter and the clutter in your chatter in your head and the clutter in your homes, in your rooms, and let it out of your life. Actually, clean house. Become clean. Clean your soul that way. And be very thoughtful. Diligence means being very thoughtful about how you spend your time and how you spend your life and the time in your life. And be discerning. Be very distinguish what you want to do. Choose very, very carefully how you want to spend your time and who you want to spend your time with, because that is a gift. Clear out, and this is a really important message, clear out those relationships that do not support you. And when I say support you, I mean they bring you something that will enrich your life and will create love in your life. Now, the third card that talks specifically about him and his life as a reflection for a message that we could take from him and use for our own lives. And here, this is the card of trust. Trust. What does the card of trust tell us? Well, it's quite easy to understand because we know what trust is, but it's a very powerful and important card. Why? Because if you receive this, when it comes out, when it emerges, even when things seem parched, ruined, or not fruitful, things that you have done, plans that you have made, and you see the seeds start to grow, but they're just not growing fast enough, or they're not going well enough, or they're not going in the direction that you want. Remember that a deeper, and here again, there's a deeper energy that speaks of the power of your inner knowing. And this is where trust comes from. This is where he's telling us that his trust came from, and his enlightened trust, I will add, his enlightened trust. Trust those nudges, those messages from the universe, because they're real and they're important to you. Meditate. Right, this is important for those of you who know how. If you don't, learn. Your advisors, your spirit guides, and all the guides that you feel are part of your life and helping you are very close now. Remain with the idea of the key word of trust, and that underneath the surface, things are moving forward. Remember that part of your life, when you're making decisions, are made through your intuition, and that too needs to be trusted in a very important way. And even if in some areas of your life seem to not shine, to lack luster, lack brilliance, lack light, remember that other areas are being primed, other areas are being fertilized. They're about to bloom in the future. So have faith and know that there is a higher purpose. Now, I'm going to those areas, those 3 cards that are direct guidelines, as if Sushant has picked these to tell us, okay, I believe that you should do this, do that, and do that, because this is the time when we need to do those things. Okay, so the first one, the first one of the next 3 groups is openness. You see openness and you see the moon there. Openness. The moon is very mysterious for many different reasons. It talks about love, of water, of emotions. Now, the openness is a specific message. There's a specific message when you see this card, when this card comes out for you. You need to be open to receiving signs. And many people, many, I mean, 1 out of 2, 50% of you have said, is he trying to contact me? I feel that he's trying to contact. Well, yes. I've said it 3 times now. Yes. Be still. Do nothing when you have to listen to the messages. Be open. Openness is the card. And breathe. Learn how to breathe again. You need to relax completely when you do this. That is fundamental. You don't go into this with nervousness or anxiety at all. And not only relax, but relax thoroughly and completely. If you're trying to make a decision, for example, if you're trying to make a decision, take the time to watch signs and listen. Listen to the whispers. They come out literally like whispers, to the whispers of the universe, right? I don't want to pinpoint a specific religion. I'll use the universe. Everyone has a different thought. All different cultures have their own different idea of what their own spirituality is. I'll talk about the universe. Watch your dreams. This is something I tell all of the people who come to me. Take a notebook, keep it near your bed, and always write down the signs that appear in your dreams for the messages that concern the situation that you're dealing with, the decision that you have to make. Become what many call, what I would like to call it as the sacred watcher, observer. You become an observer to your sacred path. And this means that you have to learn to observe and observe the small elements of development, how things change from one day to the next and how the situation modifies. And you need then to adapt day in and day out to the changing situation in order every decision to make needs to be fine-tuned to that specific moment in time. Do not become engaged in a situation. Don't let the situation or the decision making issue haunt you. Don't let it overcome you, but stand back and observe it. You become the observer. Be open to what the universe has to offer you by way of messages, and to what the universe has in store for you, what the universe has planned for you, even though you're called on to make decisions. Be receptive to those messages. Openness. Be open. But the messages from your soul, they hit the inner core. And that's when you know that it is important, that those messages speak volumes. This card, this openness card, also brings to us a sensation of wonder, a sacred wonder, awe. That when people say, oh, it's awesome, awe is a word that this awesome word is overused, but it's awe means wonder. And miracles can show up. Miracles do happen. I keep telling everyone, miracles do happen. You need to think them. You need to trust the universe. Miracles happen in ways that you would not believe. Now, let me go to the second message that Sushant has is giving you now for this period of your life. This is Enlightenment. You can see the card there, Enlightenment. I'm sorry that I can't, because I have this certain lighting here, and of course I won't be able to show you everything and see everything, but enlightenment occurs. Enlightenment is literally light that comes to you when you step out. All right, now listen. When you step out of the box or the shackles, the chains of everything that is ordinary. Enlightenment comes when there is your idea of yourself is completely different from the idea that you have when you're still in that box, in that life box. This is a difficult concept for us to understand. The idea that I'm trying to say is enlightenment comes when you expand, when you're able to expand your notion of what you are and who you are and what you can do. Now, you're trying to reach the invisible area, the invisible realm of the spirit, what we do when we channel and we converse with souls. You're trying to get into that realm. And these messages today with this video are a step in the direction of trying to make you understand through the messages that Sushant has given me to convey to you on how you can make a qualitative jump in your spirituality and receive your own answers. Now, obviously, these messages are, some of them, let's say, they overlap. Here again, you're asked to have faith in yourself, just like the trust. You have to have faith in yourself because you are much more much more and much greater than you believe yourself to be. You are perfect. We are all perfect. And you're perfect in your journey, in your soul's sacred journey. You're where you need to be today. If you're able to believe that, the universe has miracles in store for you. There's also a message with this card of enlightenment that you need patience. And I, for one, am not a patient person, but I've learned to be patient. And it was through my spirituality that I was able to learn how to be patient, really. But I'm a double Aries, Aries moon, Aries sun, Aries rising. But I have a Pisces moon, and it's the Pisces moon that has brought me to my spiritual consciousness. Now, again, have faith in yourself, be patient. These are the watchwords. And understand that a complete transformation, an expansive transformation, is in the making for you now through enlightenment. Now you see that while I'm explaining these oracle cards, each one in turn is going around using different words, but there are some key words, and you'll remember them. Just go back and watch the video again. Now, the third oracle card from this deck that is a guideline directly from Sushant to you through me is focus, the card of focus. And I'll explain that to you now. Now, focus, we understand what focus means. We know that we have to concentrate. We understand that. But when you focus, you have to remember that what you focus on is what you pull to you. If I focus on pain, I get pain. If I focus on joy, I receive joy. If I focus on love, I receive love. And this is mathematical. It's energy. You can ask Einstein. I get first thing that comes to mind. Nuclear physicists, ask them that they know about energy. So remember that what you focus on is what you attract to you. And to put your attention on something that is worthwhile means that ultimately is what you want to receive, that you want to draw near to you. Direct your intention to one thing that you desire, that one thing that you almost couldn't live without, and rather than being scattered. Okay, this requires focus. This requires concentration. Magic, it's like magic. Magic is all about focusing and attracting things to us and to others. When your thoughts are not focused and they're scattered, then the intensity is diluted and is not as strong and does not work, I assure you. Now, of course, it's much easier to gain results when you're concentrating on your path. You want to be a doctor, then you study, you concentrate, and you go there. You go directly there. It doesn't come to you because you're there. You are concentrating it. Gather your inner resources, your inner powers, and gather them with intensity. And this is the key word here, intensity and passion. That's what passion is all about. Concentrating our intentions. Go forward and upward, and you'll see results. This is also a card of a spiritual transcendence. What does that mean? It's traveling to higher realms and higher levels and higher dimensions of spirituality. It helps you stay focused, and you elevate your higher consciousness. Sushant is telling us with this that we need to go beyond the mundane. There's no reason to get the name of someone who killed him. That will not bring him back. Raise your consciousness. Raise your consciousness. You are close to heavenly realms, if I could use that word, heavenly realms, to higher realms, let's say to higher realms. Now, there is the last three cards that I have pulled are further messages from Sushant to you in terms of your long, far-reaching goals in the far future. And goals which are, how can I say, they are the way to go about reaching your goals in the future. The characteristics, how should you be in order for you to go forward? And the first here is a card called Community. Community. Now, since we do know what community means, we live in a social environment. We know that a community means a group, being in groups. That's the key. But it also means that you need to support everything around you, knowing that there is support for you from those around you. Support is everywhere around you. You have to remember that. You have to understand that there is support. You're being supported by your guides. You're being supported by love. Love from all the people that you know and from those who are around you. And this happens, this support is there even if you're not conscious of it, even if you're not aware of it. Allow yourself to be supported. This is the big guideline. Allow yourself. Let the support come in. Also, you need to give encouragement to others. Encourage others to literally, as that expression goes, follow your dream. Follow your dream. Encourage them. The more you allow yourself to be supported, and the more you support others, it's a reflexive dynamism, reflective energy. The more comes to you. If you believe that you have to do it all alone, you're not going anywhere. You will never go anywhere. No man, you've heard that expression, no man is an island. You will never get there. Your true family, and I'm not talking about blood relations here. Your true family is not only in blood relations, but are those people who are around you that sometimes they are your ancestors, the souls that come in and guide you. How many people have come to me to channel their grandparents? I believe 90% of the people who come to me for private channeling sessions first go to their grandparents, as if they know that they were the purest of souls. Sometimes they are your ancestors, and sometimes they are family ties, but for the most part, they're people who in some way have a loving relation to you, a loving bond to you. This this message is a card to remind you that there are people at your side there who are supporting you, whether they are in flesh, in blood, or in spirit. They're standing alongside you, and you need to call on your community, because this is the community card, and ask for assistance. They're only a thought away. It just is a thought away. Remember. Now the next card, the next to the last card we're drawing to them, well, we have some runes here as well. The card of security. The card of security. Now, security, we know, of course, security. People think, well, the more money I have, the more secure I am. That's and that's really farthest from the truth. What is security all about? You are safe. The feeling that you're safe and no harm can come to you. You're protected. That is security. It is the belief that you are safe and you are protected, no matter what is occurring in your life, no matter how frightful or fearful things that happen in your life are. Those in the realm of spirit, souls, guides, are watching over you. We all have spirit guides. We all have spirit guides, from 4 to 7 spirit guides. I do spirit guide readings. I also give you the way they want you to call them, the way they look, the way they want you to imagine them as well, what their role is. We all have spirit guides. We all have an inner circle and we have an outer circle with different roles. Once you've taken measures, now this is important, once you've taken measures to protect yourself psychically, and those who you love, such as making everyone feel protected and loved, as if they had their seatbelt on. Making sure that your insurance is paid on time. In metaphorical terms, your loving insurance is paid on time, or replacing even practical things, replacing the filter in your car, filling your tank, your car's tank, so you have it. Then you are protected. Then you are happy that nothing, at least the car won't stop. At least you know that you have taken steps to care for things that protect you. If you've been diligent, hyper-vigilant, take a break and relax, because the universe really does have your back. The universe really does have your back in terms of security. You can turn it all over to the universe and to our creator, our divine creator. Now, the last card that I'm using, the prop that Sushant asked me to use props. So I took 2. Use props, he said. So one is this oracle deck and another are runes, and I'll show you. The last card is the card of, embracing. Now, we know what embracing is. Embracing is, this is embracing. That's why I love Argentine tango, because the most important part of the dance is the embrace, the connection. And embracing is, of course, vital to our life. We need to feel the warmth and touch of the mother when we come out of the womb. This is vital to our survival. But sometimes life overflows with emotions. Overflows with emotions that can feel uncomfortable. We're not ready to feel certain emotions. Not everyone knows how to deal with them. But the result that occurs afterwards, after the discomfort, is of great value to us after we understand and we begin to understand. This card of embracing concerns our emotions and understanding that it is our life in emotion that makes our life a life. For example, there are people who have said to me, look, Christelle, all I want to do is watch television, all of these problems up and down. I mean, why can't I just find a companion who loves me and likes to do what I want to do? And, of course, my answer is, well, this is life. It's not a movie. This is, we love people because it's like le Petit Prince, the little prince, we water the rose, and the rose, that's how we come to love them. We interact with people and their differences, and we come to love their differences. We embrace them, and this is what enriches our emotional life. Learn to embrace the emotions, both negative, what you feel initially to be negative, and what you might believe are negative, are truly enriching your soul, enriching your life. All of the type of emotions that you feel need to be embraced, need to be totally accepted, because your emotional, if you block them, if you block your emotions, this brings truly to disease, to illness. And what this card is telling us is that it's time to explore our emotions. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful messages. Now, I cast 3 runes, and the rune that concerned the first group of cards, what is, how does Sushant feel? And there is a rune called I was going to say this is a rune called Sushant. No, this is Soilo. It's the sun. It means success and light. And this is where he is. He is light. Now, the next rune that concerns the next group is messages that his life may have and hold as mirroring the possibility of learning lessons for our own life. This is this is the rune that concerns protection. This rune, Awats, is about, like I said, protection. And we talked about the security that the universe has, trusting that we are safe. And no matter what occurs, no matter whether someone breaks into your house and steals something, you are intact. It is something that was taken. You were not removed of your light. Your light is still with you. And the last rune that I have is Rido. It's a rune called Rido, and Rido is a journeying rune. And this is the last group of oracle cards that tells us of our future. Rido talks about moving forward and moving in confidence, feeling confident that we have the belief and trust and security from the universe. The universe does indeed have our back. So please join me in wishing this soul a very merry and happy birthday. And it's just a moment. It's just a date to commemorate and remember him. And I hope that this video and these props of mine were able to help in some way, and all of the beautiful pictures and flashes from his TV days and a few of the movies that he was in. Namaste, ladies and gentlemen, and I will be back. Of course, I will be back. Bye-bye.